$98 million. Special items, which are potpourri of monies for judgments and claims, termination benefits when people retire or when they are terminated. Special litigation, some of the big items in special items. Debt service, $42.5 million. Board of Education operating budget and Board of Education capital is $482 million. The Board of Education alone is 53.9% of the city budget. When you take the personal services and you combine them with fringe benefits, that's another $300 million. That leaves you with capital of $505,000, supplies of $9 million, contractual expenses of $35 million, and special items of $23 million. I mean, you have probably less than $100 million. And in that $100 million, you have to operate the city, you have to pay for electricity, you have to pay for water, you have to pay for lawsuits against the city. There are some compensation to employees within that number also. So this presents to you the problem you face as a legislative body in deliberating how do you go about balancing the budget. What also compounds balancing the budget mid-year is that Yonkers, unlike any municipality in the state, no other municipality in the state has what's called the Special Local Fiscal and Budget Act of 1976, which means that you cannot raise or amend your budget for any types of revenue except for federal aid that will be received during the current year or state aid that will be received during the current year. Now, obviously, you know, federal and state aid at this point, what's going on in the economy, is not likely to happen. So, you're prohibited from amending your budget on existing revenues, and some of your revenues are coming in short, such as sales tax, mortgage tax. So, the conundrum that you face is how do you keep this budget balanced and avoid a deficit as you go into a worse budget for 2010. Fiscal year 2010 will even be a worse budget. So that's the problem.
I'd also like to just let you know the number that we're figuring. Again, we're working off our own numbers here because it's not being shared with us by the administration. But if he's going to save about $11 million with 151 layoffs and reductions, we need approximately $5 to $6 million in order to save the jobs that are currently. The City Council is proposing via reductions in pay and some of these other reductions will bring in about $3 million. It goes a long way to save a lot of the jobs that the mayor is looking to eliminate right now. With that, I mean, I'll open it up to the floor. Any other councilors, Councilor Morgan?
Yeah, just a question. I think maybe you can help us out. I mean, we're working, as you said, we don't have the hard numbers, so we're working on hypotheticals here. We've got an $11 million personnel. I mean, my thing is programs. Hey, if they're not necessary, they gotta go. I'm worried about people. I don't want anybody going home and saying, I can't pay the mortgage, I can't buy the food. Pay funds, I don't have a job. We're talking about 76 full-time employees. We don't have a dollar on that number. Is there any way we can find out what that number is? Do you have any indication of what 76 filings will actually cost and what we need to fund?
I would say somewhere between an average of 6 months, $40,000 to $50,000 per employee, so that's almost $1 million. Say that wrong?
That's what I said. The total reduction is $11 million. About half of that is
so we're looking anywhere from $4 to $5 million that we have to try to
make
up in order to keep people working.
Say that would be.
Can I add something? You referenced programs, and in some cases, programs are funds that go to the community-based organizations, like the Net Rate Community Center, or BSAC, or the PAL, etc. You know, those are often salaries too. Those are often people too that can live on. So it's not that programs are not human; they're also human. They're just not city workers.
You also have to realize that every dollar that you would have saved on July 1st As of January 1st, you got to put $2 to make up that $10.
If I can, I'd just like to note for the record that Councilmember McDowell is here. If I can also witness those people out in the hallway, we need you to keep it down, please. We want everybody to be able to hear. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, that said, any of the union leaders, I've been given, I've got calls throughout the course of the day. We've got, kind of small ticket items here that, everybody points out. One of the things that someone pointed out is approximately $300,000 stipend, for lack of a better term, that we give to the Buena Vista Garage. That's a subsidy to the garage. I don't know that we need to keep paying that by the parking authority. Can't take care of that on their own. We don't have the parking authority budget, but to me, this is supposed to be a self-sufficient agency, guys. To me, it's supposed to be a self-sufficient agency, and we shouldn't have to be giving them a stipend. That's, again, money that should be going to the city of Yonkers, to our employees, to the public. And some other items that come before us that I will discuss with our consultants and eventually, hopefully, with the mayor. But I'd open it up to see, is there anyone?
Yeah, one other item, and I've made reference to the community-based organizations before. We give money from our community development block grant funds to a lot of these CBOs, and they're having a public hearing tomorrow at 5:30 over at the library, the Riverfront Library. And some of these organizations, like BZAC, like PAL, like the YMCA, whatever you want them, were just cut this year in the proposed budget for the community development block grant funds, while others got more money than they did last year. So we'll make that list available too. If anybody wants to speak out tomorrow for the community-based organizations, they should go down to the library.
Thank you. I'm sure this was a little different focus though. With that, is there anyone here that has any comments, any suggestions? The mayor's out there telling us that he's coming to the table, that he's discussing various things. If anybody wants to get into any discussions about that, we're all ears. We hear bits and pieces about what's being discussed with each one of the different unions. Again, as I think you are, we're all looking for kind of parity across the board. You hear largely that people don't want to, not necessarily going to give a give back, but it's not going to save their membership's jobs. Well, that's a reasonable position. That's why we think the mayor needs to open this process up and let us all know what's going on and how we can work this together. So is there anyone out there? Can't believe all the people in this room. If you would just
basically to Mr. DeSantis, Superintendent of those
just identify something that
rather than see anybody get laid off, I'm a Teamster. We seem to be getting big plots there. What about all the money the city spends on rental properties? I mean, I know one place alone, they spend like $22,000 a month on a rental property that they could really probably liquidate this property and put maybe 2 departments under the same roof. That there alone would save like 4 jobs.
That is something that's come up with the city council in our budget hearings. We've been very concerned as to the amount that the city pays for rental and the fact that it keeps going up. And depending upon the SFC project, how that works out, it has the potential to go up even more. So I know we've asked and tried to figure out ways that space can be allocated better, that equipment can be moved. Most of the time we're being told that space is needed for equipment, and equipment was left out up at Ridge Hill and was out in the rain and destroyed and needed to be purchased again. None of those things are off the table, and we're happy to revisit that with the mayor. One of the other things I think this council's been taking a hard look at now is more borrowing. The administration has been very bullish on borrowing.